When Ranger finally came home, the neighborhood welcomed him like a hero. Children who had never noticed service dogs before learned his story. Adults paused, not out of impatience, but respect. The plaza installed clearer signage, trained staff, and partnered with local groups to promote awareness about service animals and invisible disabilities. What had begun as an act of cruelty became a catalyst for change that touched far more lives than Rangers alone. Thomas still walked with his cane, and Ranger still walked at his side, though their pace was slower now. There were moments of pain, days when memories resurfaced, but there was also a new layer of warmth woven into their lives. Strangers smiled more often. Offers of help came without pity. The world felt, if not safer, then at least more awake. If this story has touched your heart, if it has reminded you of the quiet strength and loyalty and the power of standing up when it matters, please take a moment to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps spread kindness further than you may ever see. Before we reach the end, we have one special request for you. Please comment below with the words "Kindness protects" if you believe that compassion can change lives, one small act at a time. Ranger now spends his days in sunlit patches on the floor, his harness hanging nearby like a medal earned through years of service. Thomas sits close, sometimes in silence, sometimes lost in thought, but never truly alone. The pain they endured did not disappear, but it was transformed, reshaped by the hands and hearts that chose to respond with care. And in that transformation lies the quiet truth this story leaves behind. When cruelty strikes the vulnerable, the response of ordinary people can become extraordinary, changing everything for the better. Grass. Its fur was darkened by water, its body shaking, its eyes fixed on the seal with a look that didn't belong to an animal that young. There was intelligence there, and pleading. The puppy ran a few steps toward him, then turned back, circling and crying again, as if torn between fear and urgency. The seal had seen that behavior before, not in dogs but in people under fire, someone trying to lead help to something worse than their own pain. He followed. Each step closer felt heavier, the rain soaking through his clothes, the smell of wet earth mixing with something else: iron, fear, and decay. The puppy kept glancing back, never going too far ahead, making sure the man was still there. The path led toward an old lamppost near the edge of the lawn, a place half hidden by trees and shadow. That was when the seal saw it, and for a moment, his breath left him entirely. The mother dog was bound upright against the lamppost, ropes cutting cruelly into her body. Rain streaked down her fur, washing over wounds that were fresh and dark. She was alive, barely, her chest rising shallowly, her head hanging at an unnatural angle. Her eyes were open, dull with pain yet still searching, still aware. This was not an accident. This was cruelty, deliberate and calculated, the kind that left no room for excuses. The puppy ran to her, crying, licking her face, trying to wake her, trying to make her stand. The sound it made now was different, softer, broken, as if it already understood something terrible. The seal had faced violence in many forms. He had seen what humans could do to one another, and he had learned to lock those memories away to survive. But this broke through every wall he had built. His hands trembled as he reached the mother dog, checking the ropes, scanning the area, his training snapping into place even as his heart burned. He knew time was critical. The rain made everything harder, the knots tighter, the ground slippery, his fingers numb, but he worked with a focus bee. As he cut through the ropes, memories flooded him uninvited. Faces of friends lost. Civilians caught in chaos. Moments when he had arrived too late. He whispered apologies under his breath without realizing it, not as words but as a feeling, a promise that this time he would not fail. The puppy stayed close, pressed against his leg, trusting him completely, as if it had known all along that this man was the answer to its cry. When the last rope fell away, the mother dog collapsed into his arms, heavier than she looked, her body limp and fragile. He wrapped his jacket around her to shield her from the rain, lifting her carefully, every movement slow and deliberate. Blood mixed with rainwater on the grass, washing away evidence of what had been done, but not the truth of it. The puppy followed, stumbling through puddles, refusing to be left behind. The drive to the emergency clinic felt endless. The seal's jaw was clenched tight, his eyes fixed on the road, one hand steady on the wheel, the other resting gently on the dog's side, feeling for signs of life. Each shallow breath she took felt like a victory and a warning all at once. The puppy curled against her, silent now, as if afraid that making noise might take her away. Inside the clinic, the lights were harsh and bright, a sudden shock after the gray rain. The staff moved quickly, their faces shifting from routine professionalism to quiet horror as they took in the state of the dog. The seal stood back only when he had to, his clothes dripping, his hands stained, feeling once again that familiar helplessness of waiting while someone fought for life beyond his reach. Hours passed. Rain continued to fall outside, relentless and indifferent. He sat on a hard chair, the puppy asleep against his boot, finally exhausted. In that stillness, he felt something he hadn't allowed himself to feel in a long time, hope mixed with fear. He realized that this moment mattered more than he could explain. Saving this dog would not err. When the veterinarian finally came out, her expression was careful but not empty. The mother dog had survived the worst of it. She was injured, traumatized, but alive. Recovery would be long and uncertain, but there was a chance. A real one. The seal closed his eyes, letting that sink in, a quiet release of tension that left him feeling hollow and full at the same time. In the days that followed, the story spread quietly through the neighborhood. Not the details of the cruelty, but the image of a soaked man in uniform carrying a broken dog through the rain, a puppy at his heels. People who had walked past that lamppost without looking too closely now avoided it, shame heavy in their steps. Others began leaving bowls of food and water, small gestures of atonement, as if kindness could somehow balance what had been done. The mother dog recovered slowly under care, her body healing faster than her trust. She flinched at sudden movements, her eyes always watching, always measuring. The puppy never left her side, a small guardian with an outsized heart. And the seal visited often, sitting quietly nearby, not forcing anything, just being present. He understood trauma in a way that didn't require words. Eventually, when the time came, he took them both home. Life didn't transform overnight. Healing never does. There were setbacks, sleepless nights, moments when the past crept back in for all of them. But there were also small victories, the mother dog taking her first steps without fear, the puppy learning to play again, the seal waking up one morning and realizing the weight on his chest felt a little lighter. They became a family not because of what they had lost, but because of what they had survived together. In saving them, the seal found something he hadn't known he was missing, a reason to keep moving forward, to believe that even in the worst rain, cries for help still mattered. If this story is touching your heart right now, if you feel that ache in your chest that comes from witnessing both cruelty and compassion, please take a moment near the end of this video to like it, share it, and stay connected with this channel. Your engagement helps keep stories like this alive, reaching others who may need a reminder that kindness still exists. And just before you go, leave a comment below with a simple word, hope, kindness, or faith, to show that this story reached you. Sometimes, a single word can mean more than we realize. The rain eventually stopped. The lamppost stood silent again. But the echo of that puppy's cry lived on, not as a sound of fear, but as proof that even the smallest voice, in the worst moment, can lead to an unthinkable rescue and change lives forever.